Another award-winning, thought-provoking, action-packed edition of the Tony Basilio Show is coming up next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com, home of the Tony Basilio Show. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smartphone or tablet. Another thrilling, chilling, and sometimes spilling edition of the Basilio Show is on the way next. Tips are always appreciated here at TonyBasilio.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
TB and you, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day to be alive and well with you on a Monday. Rice. And I do mean Rice fans. As America's 250 has come and gone, I will ask the age-old question that we get to when we get to the month of July, which is, are you ready for this? What the hell are we going to talk about today? I mean, what are we going to do today? What are we going to do? What are we going to do today? I'm asking the age-old question. What are we going to do? But here we are. We're live with you on a Monday. My world trip continues. Brian Hartman, in your humble opinion, and I want your humble opinion, because the Darwin holiday has come and gone. Some of the videos that have come out, I'm getting ready to tweet my favorite. Some of the videos out from the Darwin holiday where, I don't know. Bino, have you ever thought, and I don't want to offend any listeners listening to us, okay? But these grown-ups that play with fireworks and get burned, have you ever thought that it's like an IQ test of sorts by nature? Has that thought ever occurred to you, Bino? I don't mean to offend anybody. Early in our Monday show, we're like a minute into it. You ever thought that, Bino?
Well, Tony, it's probably they're probably not real quick learners, because it likely happened before that and didn't deter them. So,
I mean, the one I'm getting ready to post is over at TonyBasilio.com. I don't even know what to say. I mean, all-time favorite. This is my all-time fave. Did what state did this happen in is my question. Bino, when you see this, you saw it, right? I sent it to you guys last night. That
yes, I did.
is that guy. First of all, he looks like he's a little older than me. It's like mid-60ish. He looks like he ought to know better. He literally almost lit his house on fire. I was just talking with a friend. He said, yeah, friend of mine, there's somebody in the neighborhood people don't like. This is a few states away. He said somebody, these people go all out on July 4, even though the neighbors don't really like them. And he said that this guy, something got away from him and he lit his neighbor's flower garden on fire and almost burned their house down. Now, Bino, why don't we just go to the, local AA ballpark like what the Smokies did and enjoy the fireworks, or go down to the center square? Why do we have to light our own, like blow a digit off? Whenever I meet somebody that works in an emergency room, I say, tell me about the craziest thing and they said, do you have, those people could write books, Beanstar. That's the best of us. That's how our country's founded. We're rugged individualists. Why would I go and watch some other man light off, or municipality light off fireworks when I can do it myself, Bino? Why? Think about it.
I don't know, Tony. I am glad that there are those who put on their own shows, not only for the comic relief, but they have an absolute great fireworks display at a subdivision that's just a mile from the house. I just go down there and back up into the vocational school and watch it. I don't know if they pull their money or what they do, but it's fantastic. So I am glad there are those who will do it on their own, but it also provides some comic relief.
Well, and now that we have cell phones and people are filming this stuff, go over to my YouTube account, watch that video, and tell me if that isn't the greatest thing you've ever seen, to the living listener. I'm at Tony Basilio. And I'm not like karma farming or anything, but somebody sent me that yesterday. Here's another thing. Okay. So here, and the living listener said he made one too many calls to the high noon hotline this weekend. Living listener, I feel you. There's something about that hangover after the 4th. Now, here where I am in Pennsylvania, we had a birthday party for one of my great nephews, and then one of my great nieces had a birthday party yesterday. And God, it was just a great family weekend. I'm not here, I've been up here in 2 years, and it's just so nice to be around family. It's just I was telling them that. I was like, you just, it's hard to put it into words. Okay, so hey, Bino, did you see what Philly did? Because Philly said, hold my beer to the rest of the country. So they had a big concert scheduled. They had the France played a really bad game on Saturday. It's really boring. July 4th game, you had France playing somebody. Okay, whatever. And downtown, they had a couple million people. They had tons of people that came in, but they were having like a big concert on the Benjamin Franklin Parkway, coupled with all the Francais people that invaded. I mean, it was a total circus downtown. Like, you could not move, okay? So weather rolls in. We knew here that it was going to thunderstorm right when they were warning us 2 days in advance. Did that stop, like a million people from congregating on that parkway down there? Do you think it stopped them? What do you think?
I'll go with no.
Okay, no. So these people went, they saw like 20 minutes of some country act, and then lightning started popping around them. The musicians were like, I'm getting off stage. I'm not playing with lightning. They basically called the event off. Everybody goes home. Okay. The mayor of the city, Sherelle Parker, who is a trip, decides, Bino, look, we spent whatever we spent on these fireworks. Damn it, I'm blowing them off. 2:30 in the morning, Bino, they start. They don't end till 3:15 a.m., Beanstar. How mad would you be if you were nestled in your bed and you heard what those people heard at 2:30 in the morning in those neighborhoods? Because the chat boards, the Philly chat boards, are the greatest thing I mean, some of the stuff that was written in there. One guy wrote, I had to work at 6 a.m. and it's 3:30 a.m. right now, and I'm probably going to be shaking for the next hour. So I'm just going to get up, drink my coffee, and go to work. Can you imagine, Beanstar, what that was like?
I cannot, Tony.
And just how stupid that is. Calhoun's Carp said, idiots in my neighborhood shot fireworks till 1:30 in the morning. Okay. Can we make a rule in honor of Sherelle Parker? What's the latest, Bino, you should ever light fireworks off? I'm going to give people a little latitude.
Midnight.
Midnight?
Have to be done by midnight.
Or like my dad looked at one of my brothers, and I was a little kid. In fact, I told one of his kids that recently, what Dad said to my brother. He said, look, my brother was courting this he was engaged, and he comes home at like 3 a.m., and they had to get up at like 5:30 to go work in the mushroom houses. And my dad looked at him at the dinner table the next night. We're all gathered around. And he says to him, he says, look, I heard you come in at 3:30 in the morning. You're disrupting my house. He said, and here's the deal. Whatever you need to get done, whatever you're doing, if you can't get it done by 1 a.m., get home. 1 o'clock curfew. He said, get home. Now, how next level is it, Bino, back in the day where father would look at somebody and say that to him? I mean...
yeah.
And my dad was right, by the way. My dad was right. I had no idea as a kid what he was talking about. He looked right at him and said, look, man, whatever you want to do, you got to get it done by 1 a.m. You're not disturbing my house. All right, boys. How many people have been watching kickball over the weekend? I know so many people that have never watched soccer before that are watching this kickball tournament, that have given it a chance. Bino, what do you think of the kickball tournament so far?
Tony, the only non-USA, I've watched all the USA game matches with the exception of Turkey. The only other match that I've seen not involving USA was the second half last evening, England and Mexico.
God, what a great match. My favorite match of the tournament so far. Brian, yours is Cape Verde, by far, with Argentina. My special needs brother, Steve. There is a guy from Africa who's got the accent and the whole deal, who loves football. He had it on the next day when I went to pick my brother up at the home where my brother stays. And they have like a common area, you know, and this guy is kind of responsible for the men there. And I say to him, hey, man, congratulations to you. Buddy, his feathers were out, Brian. Like a living Vol fan. You know, it isn't always the team that wins. Sometimes I like in that game, they have a population of 400,000 people in their country. They took Argentina with the best players in the world, with probably the best player in the world, in great form, as they say in that sport. They pushed them to the brink to where the Argentina guys didn't even celebrate when they won. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Rocky Balboa himself in the first Rocky. Shout out to Chris Lowe, who's a huge Rocky adherent. But in that first Rocky Balboa, and who would that have been? That wasn't Clubber Lang. What was the Carl Weathers character?
Creed. Apollo Creed.
Hey, Rocky didn't win, but he won. Rocky didn't win round one, but he won. And in real life, you don't get a second shot at it. Those Cape Verde guys, and I want to shout out Frank Sturm, young Frank Sturm, who listens to the show. He's up there with the Columbus Crew, Gary's son. The guy that scored, Brian, from like 38 yards out, plays for the Crew. He's a good dude. He's really good to Frank. He's good people. Brian, that's my favorite match of the deal. It's going to be really hard to top that, by the way. That's one of my favorite sporting events I've seen in a long, long time. And I could have cared less about either team when the thing started, Bri. I loved those Cape Verde guys when that thing was over. I loved it. I'm sorry, Nega Dave. Nega Dave. I fell in love. Nega Dave, you ever been in love? I fell in love, Nega Dave.
Well, the Cape Verde Spain game was up there too, as far as they held them without a goal, a 0-0 game out of nowhere. That was the first shocker that they sent out, that we're like, who's this Cape Verde team holding Spain to a goalless draw? Spain must suck. But last night's England-Mexico game for me did it all. That was the best one of the. That's the best one I think I've seen. It'll be hard to top that one, but I got a feeling that somebody will.
Bino, you wait till you see this. Bino, you wait till you see this striker from Norway, this Holland guy. Bino, this guy looks like he was built in a laboratory. He looks like he's half cyborg. And another Rocky reference for you. He looks like Ivan Drago with a long ponytail. He's way bigger than everybody else out there. And when he unloads yesterday, Brian, why did they defend him like that, Brazil? And this Neymar guy's the biggest loser on planet Earth. What a loser Neymar is. The way he was acting like he's some tough guy, you suck, man. You suck on the world stage.
Brazil is not they're another team. They're not a threat to win anymore. They weren't very highly regarded coming in. They haven't really been that highly regarded since they hosted their own World Cup 12 years ago. And they just have kind of fallen off the world stage as far as just being a threat. They're another team.
Tim Oliver said, the World Cup's been awesome. I'm a new soccer fan. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Now, I know people say, well, you're a conspiracy. You're this, you're that. FIFA, two things can be true at the same time, as I wrote on my blog today, and I really believe this, okay? FIFA has always been an organization that acts in its own self-interest. They gave Qatar a World Cup. Why? Because Qatar gave them probably a few $1 billion in the back door. I mean, let's just call this what it is. That, as you heard last week on the air, Cam Schneider say, that was a poorly officiated game with the U.S., and that was an overuse of replay, which we now see. And by the way, being up here, I'm being exposed to more Major League Baseball than I've seen all year. Because I listen to the Phillies when I'm in Knoxville. I don't watch it a lot. I listen to it. I enjoy the game of baseball that way. Hey, Bino, you watch a lot more Major League Baseball than I do. I got to say this. There's a lot of strategy with what they've done with this replay system where you only get 2 of them. There's a lot to be said for that when you only get 2 challenges with the ABS. And if you use one early in the game and you get in the middle innings, like the other day in one of the games I was watching, might have been the Sunday night game for a little piece last night during halftime, but they already challenged early in the game, so they couldn't use the challenge in the middle innings because you want to hold it to the later innings. There's a lot of I love that little tweak, what they've done there with the ABS.
Yeah, it's one of the best changes they made in baseball, I think, Tony. And it's so quick. And you're right. Teams are still just getting accustomed to how to effectively use their challenges, and who they should allow to use them too. So,
yeah, that's exactly right. So, Rob M asked, new basketball roster addition this week. Here's the thing about the Michigan deal. They have a 35-day dispensation to keep whomever's on their roster. I don't know if it's going to be interesting to see if their roster gets rated. But I do also want to get into this Kirk Chrisa story, which broke over the weekend. What FIFA did with Balogun was absolutely over-officious. Beanstar, the Southeastern Conference would have been proud of that, the way they gave that kid the red card. They escalated right to a red card on him for literally no reason. I mean, it was ridiculous. Red card last night. The reason that England played with 10 men is a guy went in on a tackle with his cleats up. You do that with your cleats up in a spot like that and get the meat like he got the meat, you're getting thrown out of the game. And both those guys last night have an English background, and both those guys doing the game were both like, oh, he's going. They were like, oh, that's a matter of fact. I'll say this about last night's sporting event, okay? Because we compare this thing. I compare it to SEC football because it's a spectacle and a sporting event. Spectacle and sporting event. Now, it's much more of a spectacle than what we do because it's only every 4 years. And it's people come from all over the world, and they happen to be invading our shores, and we happen to be loving every minute of it because it's really cool. They say that environment in that Azteca Stadium, did you hear those announcers, Brian, talking about how they were vibrating up there, how that thing was just lit? Did that not look like an incredible atmosphere in that place, Bri?
Yeah, that's a once-in-a-lifetime occurrence. And they may never see, that stadium may never see that again.
It's pretty next level. Yeah, and Jinx Jones says that him going in there, and he says that Kwanzaa getting the red last night, there are people speculating, Bino, this Holland guy is such a handful from Norway. Nobody thought Norway had any chance in this tournament. This dude might just score them through another round. Brian, would you roll that out? Anytime he gets the ball, Bri, describe it to Bino where this guy can score from, Bri.
He can head it in. He can kick it in. He can go get something. He's taller than everybody else, so he can go up and get it. England celebrated so much last night, they better come back down off cloud 9 really fast because they got to face Norway. And that
I'll tell you, yeah, you're right. I'll tell you what England has, though, Bri. They got some big boys. They got some huge dudes. This Bellingham guy, and we all know about Harry Kane. But amazing. I mean, that scene last night, I'm going to tell you, I love those Mexican uniforms. Those things are really cool looking, Bri. My brother and I went to a Mexican joint a couple days ago. And they were wearing that same jersey that they had on last night, basically the same deal. And I told one of the waitresses, I said, servers, I'm sorry. I say, hey, that thing's awesome looking. She thought I was kidding. I said, that is an awesome looking jersey. Incredible. All right, here we are. I just want to say a shout out to the World Cup, because we're in the dog days of summer right now. And this tournament, I was very tepid on it in the beginning. I'd said before it started, I don't feel any buildup. I don't feel any buzz. FIFA made a business decision with what they did with Balogun. Now, what they did is the right thing, okay? But if that wasn't an American player, they wouldn't have reinstated him. They are smelling dollars. This is the final deal for Fox. Okay? Nobody's talking about this. This is the final cycle for Fox in the World Cup. The rights are going to be up for bid. Hey, Beanstar, if the U.S. wins tonight, okay, which I think they're going to get every call in the book. I don't know if they're going to win tonight, because it's going to be, that's a hell of a team they're playing. But if they win tonight, can you imagine what the numbers will be on Saturday night? Or Saturday early prime. I think it's a 6 p.m. start, Eastern time. Can you imagine, Beanstar, what that's going to look like?
No, Tony, I can't. I'm
being serious
without any
now.
Historical reference. No, I understand how serious you're being. Yeah, I would think that would be a massive TV audience.
Do you think, Bino, knowing that with this thing's up for bid, knowing what we know, do you believe that they did this out of the benevolence and goodness of their heart? Or do you think they made a business decision? And Bring Back Todd Raleigh says the following: nothing like coming to my favorite Vol show to hear about lame soccer. LOL, what are we doing? Bino, what are we doing? Can you talk to back to the phones, Todd Raleigh? And he says Bino could care less about this. LOL. Is that true, Bino? You could care less?
No, I watch the World Cup. I watch the United States matches in the World Cup just because of the event that it is. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to be a huge soccer fan. I'm never going to understand a whole lot of what I'm watching. But I have come to appreciate a little bit more the game itself. Mm-hmm. I was always one that, because it wasn't a part of my childhood, I didn't care anything about it. I didn't know anything about it. What I have learned, I was always critical of it because it was so low scoring. I mean, mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoy a low scoring baseball game, a low scoring football game, but that's because it doesn't happen every game like it does in soccer. But what I found out about soccer is there's so much more anticipation and angst to an opportunity to score because they're not as prevalent. So that part of the game I've learned to understand. I'm never going to be a huge soccer fan, but I do appreciate this event.
When you think about last night's Mexico game, which you watch the second half, and yes. They early in the second half go down by a man. And then this Harry Kane guy makes a tremendous play on the ball when everybody else is back, and the goalie the keeper takes him down. And then they go up 2. For people did not watch us. Then about 5 minutes later, he kicks. He gets his leg up. Kane, same guy on defense. This is how over the field this guy is. And now we have a penalty shot the other way, and now it's 3-2. For the last 27 minutes of that match, Mexico, those of you that watch hockey, was on power play and had the ball essentially on the other half of the field trying to score. If you don't tell me that was great theater and all the chances they had, and that crowd knew, Bino, as the sands were going through the hourglass, we've all been there watching our team. We've all been there watching our team on 3rd and short not convert, which is what that is. And you know, we're not going to get many chances to get near that goal line. I mean, that last night, and when those England players laid on that field afterwards, those guys were exhausted after that game. You could see it. Now, what I didn't realize, when they say playing at altitude, where I'm at, I looked it up last night, is like 300 feet above sea level. Mexico City, I didn't realize this, is like 1,700 feet higher than Denver, Colorado. I mean, they're playing at serious altitude there. And those guys from England were roached at the end of that game. Roached. I mean, it was utterly, utterly incredible. Utterly, utterly incredible. This World Cup, to me, has been a great event. It's been a great spectacle. I do a sports show. Some of you think I do a Tennessee show. I've never said I do a Tennessee show. I celebrate all sports on here. Always have, always will. During the NHL playoffs, we bring Pete Weber, people like that on here to talk NHL playoffs. I celebrate sports. Now, when it comes to the Volunteers, the reason we have such a huge voice there is we're not afraid to call it like it is. Both good, bad, and ugly. For instance, Orange Throat writes today, and I want to get into this on the other side, that DGG is a way more important piece to Tennessee than Ohio State. Brother, you better say that 1,000 times. And when we come back, I got a little something on DGG I want to share with you. Because when it comes to D to the G to the G, and let's add another G for all the OGs out there and all the NGs, the new Gs and the OGs, because there are a lot of new Gs that are really OGs, which reminds me of something Dick Vermeil said about the Eagle fan base, because I think the same thing's true about the Vols. Some of you youngsters, when we talk about things from the 80s, 70s, you know all about it, because your parents, your grandparents, your uncle, one of your friends, one of your friends' fathers, whomever told you those stories, just like when young Bino was growing up. And they told him the stories about some of the different things that Bino, that they remember. Like the stop on Billy Cannon. Bino, am I lying? I'm not lying, am I? You grow up with those stories.
Absolutely.
So Dick Vermeil said, he said, I'm in my 80s. He gave an interview. He said, these Philadelphia Eagle fans, he said, you'll meet a kid that's 13 years old and he's been a fan for 60 years. He said, this kid can talk about things that happened when I was coaching and look me right in the eye. And I'm just like, okay. So to some of the OGs and the new Gs, I'm adding a G. DGGGG. We're going to come back. I want to get in the hunt and in the mix with you. We'll come back. I want to get on the other side. I want to talk about DGGGGGG, and I'm going to ask you, do you agree with what FIFA did? And then for the soccer person out there, one more question. What's the best match so far in this tournament? Mine by far is the Argentinians not even celebrating when they won. England celebrated. What England did last night was an accomplishment because you don't win in that stadium. And you ain't going to win when you're down, when it's 11-10. And they got 38 minutes to play plus 11 minutes of stoppage time. And Bino, give him your line about Bama, about the whole stoppage time concept. The tournament's kind of scarred you a little bit here, Beanstar.
The clock will strike 0, and the announcers will say, "But there's stoppage time. The Tide has stoppage time," and they'll give them enough time to score a touchdown.
Bino said they're going to put 11 minutes on the clock. The Vols have a hard-fought win. Everybody's celebrating. Now, I'll say this about that aspect of that sport. That is about the most third world thing in the world. No offense to soccer. Last U.S. game, James Daniel IV, who I've come to love here, most watched non-NFL television program in 10 years. And the Sheeps want Tony to tell him who the backup left guard is going to be. James Daniel IV. From your keyboard to my lips to God's ears, let us celebrate all sports. And when you see something in front of you, here's the thing that's happened. And I'm not here to make everybody, I don't care whether you like soccer or not. But I promise you this. If you give that sporting event a chance, you'll appreciate that game. You'll at least walk away from it. You have to be like Bino says, I'm never going to know the nuances. I don't know the nuances. And I grew up playing the damn thing. But I don't know the nuances of anything. I'm a stooge. I'm having fun. But Bino's right. If you can't, you know what? I'll tell you what the World Cup's become. It's become what the Olympics used to be. The Olympics used to feel that way, the way the World Cup feels. Bino, I don't know if you feel that way watching it, but you know what you don't get with the World Cup? This guy's grandfather died. And this thing over here, and we got to do a human interest story. That's all the Olympics is now. The World Cup is exactly what the Olympics used to be when you would tune it in and you would watch the sporting event or watch these sports. And in some cases, sports that are foreign to you, but you walk away with an appreciation for the athletes, for the competition, for what it means for these people. Because here's the trick, right? A lot of these guys, like the English side, there are multimillionaires that were on their bench last night that would literally give you a half a digit to have gotten on the field last night. They would have literally given you what a couple people did lighting fireworks off in Pelham, Alabama over the weekend. They would literally have given you half a digit to get out there. Bino, do you get what I'm saying about how the Olympics used to feel? When you look at the World Cup, how it's just pure sport.
I agree, Tony. I don't watch 1 second of the Olympics now, and I will watch the World Cup. And I agree. I think it's the greatest world sporting event now.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. When you watch this thing on our continent, and you consider, and here's the thing that gives me chills: the way that sport has grown. Here, they did what they did for that Balogun guy tonight. They are shuffling the deck for the U.S. to advance. Some people think it's the opposite. Now the U.S. won't get a call tonight. Barbara Streisand, okay? That is BS. I'm telling you right now that they want the U.S. to go to that quarterfinal round. Brian, how hype will you be if the U.S. gets through tonight? Brian Hartman won't be able to sleep.
Maybe not. Or maybe I'll sleep like a baby. But yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's been it is going to be just more anticipation when you have a Saturday night tilt. And for 5 days, the buildup is going to be incredible. And Stuart Holden is excellent, by the way.
Oh, tonight's broadcast crew. Oh! I'm so pumped. I text Pancho last night. Pancho, óyeme, escúchame. I said, Pancho, great run for El Tree. Bino, he never responded. I think he thinks I'm doing what you think I used to do with you, which is text it right after a defeat, which I did text him right after a defeat, Bino. Your thoughts on me texting him right after a defeat, Bino?
I don't think it was with the same intention that it used to be with me.
Dave. Can the soccer Nazis not figure out how to stop and start a clock?
Now, I do wonder that, Tony. I do wonder why you don't have someone operating a clock. Why does it have to run continuously? Then you just go back and just seemingly pick a number for stoppage time.
The refs don't have enough to do as it is, and they got to keep up with the stupid time. I've never figured that out.
Vols Titan said Alabama would have gotten 5 more minutes after we stormed the field in 2022 if it was soccer. Could you picture Matt and Jack Dixon over there in the corner end zone, still like lingering with their cigars, and here comes Alabama down the field? The SEC really ought to look into stoppage time.
Don't make it. Don't even think that, Tom.
Circuit City Fusion. Here's the thing about last night. That was an SEC atmosphere times about 5. I'm sorry. That thing right there was totally electric. I mean, totally lit. Brian, that was really unique looking. When you heard those two guys, and Hargreaves has been involved in huge matches all his life. He said, I want to come out of retirement and play tonight. He said, I've never said that. He said that on the pregame show when they had their delay. He said, I've never felt this in my life. He said, I want to be on that field so badly. And they kept saying it's a privilege to be in this stadium tonight. You never hear announcers say that. You never hear that. I mean, the game presentation and what they did last night was, I'm going to tell you something. And Jerry Colquitt's in Seattle. That Seattle thing, that scene in that stadium, I don't know, the way they built that stadium, Beanstar, the way that thing goes straight up in the back, the way those people are right on top of you, they call it the 12th man for our football. Jerry said that place, last time the U.S. played, because he was down there with his daughter, he went down into the area and was thinking about, buying tickets or whatever, and they were like $1,300 each then. What do you think tonight cost? Gaw! Gaw! We come back on the other side. Here's my thing. Look, I'm going to be who I'm going to be on this show. And I'm enjoying this sport. And it's helping pass the summer. It's doing more than that, though. I mean, Brian, I'm fired up for this like I would be if we were playing Alabama tonight. Do you feel that way, Brian? I'm fired up right now. I'm excited about the sporting event,
it's getting close. It's getting close to that. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like invested in this. And this thing has, with what FIFA's done with Balogun, this thing has everything now. This thing has Belgium pissed off. They said it was like April Fools. They're crying already, which means they're going to be, distracted from this thing tonight. And U.S. advances tonight. I'm telling you, Saturday is going to be litty. And they want that. FIFA wants that. And one more time, this is the last cycle of Fox's 3 World Cup deal that they had Do you understand how much money FIFA stands to make from a U.S. victory tonight? When they go to whatever streaming service or wherever this thing is going, and they're going to go pay through your rectum. And to quote Bobby Denton, and pay some more. Not pay no more, pay some more. Ghost of Dr. Z said Bino softball games are bigger than this. Bino, you agree or disagree?
No, they're not, Tony.
Bino, do you find yourself excited to watch?
Don't be checking your card either, Byron. I didn't say that. Your single card, you simpleton.
As we come back on the other side, I want to get into DGGGG. I got a little information for you as we continue after this.
Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776. Or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside. So get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law. Fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
With Gary Sturm. He's with Mortgage Investors Group, making our community a better place every day. Gary, you've been at it 32 years, man.
Yes, Tony, I've been at Mortgage Investors Group for 32 years. We've known each other since, back in the 80s, right?
And we've gotten to know each other recently as our family has gotten involved with another mortgage. Through that whole process, you were Prince, just like Jeker. When he called you at 3 o'clock in the morning after a Tennessee loss, you've been giving your phone number out for a couple decades. And why is that, Gary?
This is the biggest financial decision you're ever going to make. You don't want to trust somebody online, some 800 number. You want to call somebody like myself that's going to give you my number, and you can call me anytime. I'm there to help you. I'm here to help you and your family, and I appreciate that. I appreciate your trust in me. You can call me anytime. You can be like Jeker and call me at 2 a.m. and complain about the balls just like he did. I'd rather you call me about a mortgage, but that's okay. If you want to cry about the balls, we can do that too. I'm a ball at heart. You know that. And if you want to come in and meet with me face to face, I'm here. If you want to do it online, I'm here. That's fine. If you're curious if you can qualify to buy a house, people know the housing market's tough. That's what I'm here for. There's no obligation. You can call me anytime. I get you pre-qualified. Or maybe you've got a mortgage and you're thinking about refinancing. Maybe you want to shorten the term. Maybe you want to go to a 15-year. Who knows? But again, that's what I'm here for. It's what I've been here for 32 years. My number is 865-660-2648. It's 865-660-2648.
Gary Sturm at Mortgage Investors Group, going to take great care of you.
Got a plumbing or HVAC problem at home? Whether it's an AC that won't cool, a furnace acting up, a clogged drain, or a water heater problem, Pipe Wrench Home Services is ready to help. Right now, get 15% off any HVAC or plumbing repair when you schedule service with Pipe Wrench Home Services. Our licensed technicians are equipped to diagnose the issue, explain your options, and get the repair done right the first time. Don't let a small problem turn into a major headache. That strange noise from your air conditioner, the water heater that's not keeping up, or the drain that keeps backing up won't fix itself. The longer you wait, the bigger the problem can become. At Pipe Wrench Home Services, we make repairs simple with friendly technicians and fast, reliable service that you can count on. We'll arrive ready to identify the problem and get your home back to normal as quickly as possible. Take advantage of 15% off any HVAC or plumbing repair and schedule your appointment today at pipewrench.com. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit is free. Restrictions may apply. Eligible for repairs up to $5,000. Visit pipewrench.com for details.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
All right, an update on DGG. I added G for the OGs and the new Gs listening to me. Because really, when it comes to Tennessee sports, the new Gs are really OGs. A lot of old souls in our fan base. Chances are, if you're in your 20s, 30s, teens, and you're a fan, you've been a fan for 50 years. It's one thing I love about our fan base, man. We love this stuff. We love this stuff. DGG. DGG's visits are all complete. He's committing July 22nd. So, Brian, is that 2 weeks from Wednesday? Or is that a week? What is that? 2 weeks from Wednesday, right?
16 days.
That's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. You know, the kid's from Canada, which is kind of interesting, right? So, in a way, he didn't grow up wanting to play at the University of Tennessee. That's okay, right? Even though he's playing in state. You know, where he's playing, this is akin to when you see guys play, you know, at some of these prep schools in Maine or wherever, and then it's time to make their decision and, you know, where am I going to go? Okay. The interesting thing is he's going to have his commitment ceremony down at the Baylor School in Chattanooga where he's at. The belief is that Tennessee has, first of all, they're going to reset the market for running backs with him. He's extremely, extremely important to Tennessee. And they see him in their new strategy as somebody that's on the field right away. And so this fits with what they're getting ready to do. They're getting ready to go portal heavy, and we're gonna go hard after a few 5-star guys that we can get on the field right away. Now, David, it hasn't started yet, but DGG, the belief is that David is going to be training with Alvin Kamara some this summer. Kamara is a guy that DGG loves. Loves him. Okay? In terms of being a player. And look, these guys train full-time anyway, and NFL camps are getting ready to start. But Kamara and him, because it's July. Wow. But the next few weeks or so, they're gonna work out together some. Also, we've learned that DGG has requested Tennessee's off-season training plan. Ohio State is trying to do a 2-for-1 with him by offering one of his Baylor teammates, but that doesn't seem like that's going to be a deciding factor. New angles, nooks and crannies of this thing are going to continue up to the 22nd. But here's the deal. Tennessee's going to reset the market for running backs. The Kamara piece, I think, is pretty significant. I do believe as well that there's a possibility that the Baylor school thing has been such a positive that you may see these other family members maybe ending up there. Who knows? I think what I'm trying to tell you is it looks pretty good for Tennessee and DGG. Now, I'm not calling the shot. I'm not dumb enough to do that because you can't tell what these kids are going to do from 1 minute to the next. But the way this thing feels, Tennessee is just, I believe, looking for new angles and everything they can do to strengthen that position over the next few weeks. So that's a little DGG conversation for you. I really believe that Tennessee's going all in on him, as they should, because this guy is of great significance to them. Bino, we have not seen during the Heupel era. I'm not trying to crack here, okay? I'm not trying to diminish anybody that's played running back under Heupel. I've had some great backs. But we haven't seen somebody with truly elite talent get an opportunity in that offense. That's fun, isn't it, Beanstar? The possibility of the thought of him playing in that offense is pretty salivating, isn't it?
Oh, it absolutely is, Tony, because they've taken good players and got really, really good performances out of them at that position. I would love to see the best running back in the country in that offense.
Yeah, the belief
it would just be
such
a tremendous credibility piece for Tennessee.
That's right.
For the program and for the staff.
That's right. That's right. And where we are as a program, they just got to get him. He's just another player to Ohio State. He's just latest 5-star back for them. For us, he means so much more. He's credibility. That's a great word, Bino. And look, if one of your young quarterbacks shows anything this fall, I think the freshman's going to play eventually if he doesn't play right away. But if one of your young quarterbacks shows any life at all, and you add DGG to that offense with those young receivers, now you'll be rebuilding your offensive line after the year. But still, to have an elite talent in a run-first offense that's every back shines in that offense. Look, we love the kid from Carnes, Bino, but they get DGG. This guy is going to be your feature back next year. Going to be amazing. Going to be amazing. The thing about it, the reason I'm not calling the shot is when you're going against Ohio State, you just can't rule out their history with these players. And Bino, that's a huge piece. When you're going against one of these programs that puts so many players in the NFL, that kid ultimately, sure, the college money's fine, but that kid and his representation and his family have to be thinking long term, don't they, Bino? That's a piece, right?
Yes. And that just adds to the credibility of it, Tony, when you go head to head with an Ohio State and win the battle against them for a player of the caliber of DGG, who, as you said, is not from here. It's not like we're going to get him because he grew up a Tennessee fan. If we get him, it'll be because we outworked and out-offered.
That's right. And the offer
that's a hard thing to do against them.
Sure it is. Sure it is. But that's an interesting component in what we're discussing. And so that's a little update there. I really believe, though, with our information, I believe what I just told you is sound. I believe the Kamara piece is sound. I think that's significant, Bino, for Tennessee to say, oh, you kind of like this guy, you fashion yourself. How about if we work out? How about if we schedule a couple workouts with this guy? See, those were things back in the day, Bino, you couldn't do. That now that it's all above board, you can do that stuff.
Yeah.
Back then they did it. Back then Michael Jordan was calling North Carolina prospective players and having them come meet him. But you had to do it. Why you do that under the table, I have no idea. Because it's the power of having alums. I mean, what would the difference be between that and a kid that wants to go into another field and this guy owns a business that's in that field and you talk to him about why you should come to Tennessee? What's the difference? That's called legacy or connection. But I think it's a great thing. So
it probably won't be any consolation if we lose out on him, Tony. But I don't think anybody can question how hard Tennessee's gone at this.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. It's kind of like the thing that happened with the kid from Ohio State, ironically enough, where I can't sit there and I can't question what they did in the transfer portal with that kid. Sure, it blew up in their face. I want you in the transfer portal. I don't care how that turned out. If you got to sign 3 of those guys to get 1 to stick on your roster, do it. You got the resources. Do it. But for goodness sakes, don't sit there. They're not doing that here. They're going full bore. I mean, they're going full bore here. We come back on the other side. I'm fired up, focused, and prepared, and you should be. I also want to get into this Kirk Chrisa story as well, because that, if you were paying attention, that's not a shock. That kid is an absolute clown. Here's the thing I wonder. How many kids out there currently in the sport of college basketball are going to make bad decisions like Kirk Krissa? Bino, do you want to wrestle with that? Do you want to wrestle with that today? Or are you like me? And I hate to even think about that. Because I can promise you it's not just Kirk Krissa. Think we know that?
No, Tony, this is a witch's brew going on here. The rich young people with gambling at their fingertips.
Yep. We come back. We roll it back. Hey, man, I'm fired up, folks, and prepared right now, and you should be too. And we are going to make it rain on the other side on your high noon hotline. It's a Basilio show here on July 5, 6. What is this? More after this.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Tona B, inviting you to experience the Collins Insurance difference. And what's that? How about multiple top carriers that you can trust? Like Erie, they underwrite our entire Rainier studio and everything around it. Travelers, Hartford, Hanover, Progressive. We do what's right because we care. In today's technology-driven world, maintaining the human touch, Bruce Springsteen, is one of our main focuses. We deliver the best customer service humanly possible. We give you someone that you can actually call or sit in front of. Imagine that. No call centers here. Experience the Collins Insurance difference. Check them out at collinsinsuranceTN.com, and they're Mrs. B approved. Collins Insurance. TB with a few serious questions. You feeling tired, foggy, you gaining weight, or you just don't feel like yourself anymore? Hormone therapy is finally becoming mainstream, but it's truly something my man, Dr. Tom Rogers, has been doing for over 20 years. Dr. Rogers of Performance Medicine wants you to feel your best, and he treats both males and females. So, guys, we can do this as a family. At Performance Medicine, hormone therapy is personalized to you. If you're dealing with hot flashes or mood swings or low energy, decreased libido, fatigue, muscle loss, stubborn weight gain, it might be time to find out what your body really needs. No shame in this game. You can do something about all the above. Performance Medicine offers customized hormone treatment plans based on comprehensive lab testing with options like pellets, creams, patches, oral medications, and injections. The goal is simple. Help you feel like yourself again. Next level. Make your life better. Take it to the higher plane. Visit performancemedicine.net. Schedule your consultation today. You'll feel your best with Performance Medicine.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition and top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got two locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org. And both locations, we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm going to hop online and I'm going to get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
When a dangerous, overgrown, or storm-damaged tree is threatening your home, your car, or your family, don't risk it. Call ECR Total Landscapes, your local tree-cutting experts. From precision tree removal and trimming to emergency storm cleanup, ECR Total Landscapes has the equipment and the experience to get the job done safely and efficiently. Call today to set up your free estimate, 865-384-2012, or just go online to ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times. 80 proof of vodka delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's Premium Vodka, T3, Tennessee's Premium Vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee. TB here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you, not like some some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
Nothing makes you realize how much you rely on your air conditioner like a scorching hot day in East Tennessee. You want more than a technician. You want someone you can trust. Schedule Pipe Wrench's $79 AC tune-up now because the heat is here. Our certified technicians inspect, clean, and fine-tune your HVAC system to help it run efficiently and reliably while reducing the risk of breakdowns when you need it most. And while we're there, we can also recommend ways to improve your indoor air quality for cleaner, healthier air throughout your home. For more than 20 years, homeowners across Knoxville, Maryville, Oak Ridge, and surrounding communities have trusted Pipe Wrench Home Services for dependable comfort. And with our same-day service guarantee, you won't be left waiting when comfort matters most. Schedule your $79 AC tune-up today at PipeWrench.com. Same-day service guaranteed, or the visit is free. Offer valid on standard systems only. Visit PipeWrench.com for details.
It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
I think when I tell you our next guest has been on point, hey, Bino, this guy's been on point. You know that, right? This entire tournament. I'm talking like absolutely. On point. I mean, like you watch a match and you're going, this freaking guy called it. Cam Schneider, FC Alliance, back with us. Cam, you played the sport all around the world. How proud of the beautiful game are you with the tournament that we've seen unfold thus far on our shores?
I think we've had one of the most exciting World Cups that I remember. I know that there were some really exciting ones back before I remember, but this has been a really fun World Cup. Lots of upsets, lots of tight games, lots of underdog stories. I think that this one's going to be one that people talk about for a long time.
I agree. And the storylines here, you know, I was against letting all the African nations in and expanding the field. Man, they've made it help. They're not, it's like they've advanced far, you know. But that Cape Verde thing, I text you the other day during that. That was one of the most moving sporting events I've seen, and I didn't care about either team. That Cape Verde thing, though, the way they competed and left it all out there, as somebody that appreciates sport, competition, guys that train every day and get up and chase dreams, whatever you want to say, heed that muse, whatever it is that inspires anybody to get involved in sport. Man, I loved every minute of that, Cam. I just thought that was incredible, that particular match.
And if you look at it, even if it's not the number 67 team in the world versus the number 1 team in the world, that was just a great soccer game. The goals that were scored, the energy, that was just a great soccer game, regardless of who was playing. And then you look, and it's a country with 500,000 or 600,000 people playing against the World Cup champion. So that was just such a cool game to see the way that they got welcomed when they got back home in their country. I mean, that was almost as good as winning it for them because they gave that country that no one had even heard of before the World Cup a little bit of hope. That was really cool.
And you know what? It isn't always the winner that wins. Sometimes the loser walks off the field with their head held high, and there's victory in that. I know those guys don't want to hear that. I know those guys would still like to be playing, but that was pretty magical. All right, let's drill down. If you told any of them that
they were going to make it to the round of 16, I mean, nobody would have believed it. Round of 32, nobody would have believed it. If you told them they were going to get out of their group, nobody would have believed it. So they overachieved. They feel like they might not have got what they wanted, but they overachieved, and they got everybody excited for them.
I'll tell you what else they did is the kid from the crew and a couple of these other guys are getting ready to make some serious money, because that you do that on a world stage. I mean, but let's go to last night's match, and I'll ask you about the U.S. What a scene that was at Azteca last night. I liken that to like an SEC football atmosphere at times about 5. Mm-hmm. I mean, nobody wins there. England goes down a man. They've got to play. What is that like on the field when you're down a man? How significant is that? And how hard is it? How much does it take out of you, especially at altitude, that they had to defend for about, I guess, close to about 35 minutes when you factor in the extra time, down a man? How difficult you think that was on England last night?
So a red card goes one of two ways. Either you go, oh, we're down a man, and then you give up, or you get a little bit more excited and you realize that I got to do a little bit more work, and everybody sticks together and they go and just grind out the mission. And that's what England did. But at the altitude, with as hot as it was, I mean, all the pressure of playing in Mexico, for them to go out with a red card and keep the result. And Mexico doesn't lose at home at all. So that was a huge result. It just shows that England is a team to think about, consider as going all the way. But yeah, that was a really good performance from England to be able to get the red card and still get the win.
Cam Schneider joining. I'm gonna see how I'm gonna give Cam his credibility check up now. Okay, if you're gonna be honest with me here, Cam, do you trust FIFA as a governing body?
Not a little bit. Not even a little bit.
They're the most corrupt. They've got the best, like Bino said, it's like the best sporting event in the world, and they don't deserve it because they are so corrupt. There's no way they would have reinstated this Balogun guy if it weren't for the fact, Cam, that they want the TV numbers because this is the last year of their deal with Fox. They did that for self-serving reasons and now. Two things can be true. You said when you were on here last week that was a total injustice and that the U.S. ought to appeal, but you didn't think it would go anywhere because it never goes anywhere. Now in qualifiers, they've done it.
Since 1962. Since 1962, there hasn't been an appeal. And then it happens to America in the America World Cup, and then it happens. That's crazy.
The significance of him being on the field tonight for the U.S. against Belgium, your thoughts?
So I'm going to play devil's advocate today because I think that all the hype with Balogun being allowed to play is going to hurt us. I think Belgium is going to be so mad and they're going to feel like we did a disservice that they're going to come out ready to just run us off the field. Balogun, we need him. If we want to win, we need him to play. But I think Belgium is going to beat us today.
For that reason?
For that reason. I think if it was a straight up fair game, and I'm not going to say it's unfair, but if it wasn't so much hype and drama around Balogun being able to play, I think that USA takes the game. I think Belgium is going to be so fired up to play us. And as they've played, they've gotten better and better every game of the World Cup. I think that they're going to come out and they're going to put it on us early and we're going to be in trouble.
Bino, were you expecting Cam Schneider to say that today? Because he's giving his honest opinion here. Were you expecting that, Beanstar?
I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting Cam to be as honest as he's been the whole time he's been on here. Hey, Cam, real quick, from a guy that's whatever is below casual, that's what I am as a soccer fan. But watching it, I can't understand. I understand a red card taking a man out of a match and having to play a man short. I understand that. I think that adds something to the game rather than takes it away. I don't understand in a sport where it's so easy to step on someone, kick someone, or headbutt someone, how you can take them not only out of that game, but out of the following one as well. That seems overly judicious to me.
I agree with you. And as somebody who's had my fair share of red cards as a player, sometimes you get it and you're like, yeah, I deserve that. That was dumb or that wasn't good. But sometimes it really is just an accident. Just like for somebody that watches football, targeting in football. Sometimes you hit them with the crown of your head on purpose. Sometimes it's an accident. But you get kicked out of that game and it is what it is. In soccer, I don't understand why there's always an extra game added on. But it is the way the rule is written. So I don't agree with it, but that's just the way the rule is. And it used to be a 2-game suspension for a red card. Now it's only 1.
That's crazy. 2 games. Bino, why don't they handcuff you to a rail down below for 2 games if they're going to do that?
You kicked someone, go to jail.
Hey, by the way, Celtic Drew, who says the following, because he and you have a great repartee here. I read his comments to you over on YouTube. You react. As Cam Schneider joins. He says if the U.S. can contain Doku tonight, they got a shot at winning. If they don't do that, it's going to be 3-1 Belgium, which is what he's predicting.
I actually just texted somebody about 20 minutes ago that I'm predicting 3-1 Belgium, and I can screenshot you the text and send it to you because I think we're going to have a hard time with Doku's speed, and I don't think we're going to be able to score on Courtois the way we've been scoring on other goalkeepers. And they say in soccer all the time at the youth level, if you have a goalkeeper and a goal scorer, you're going to be pretty good. And Belgium has a goalkeeper and a goal scorer.
And I'll tell you something, some of the goalkeeping, this tournament's felt very wide open offensively compared to past ones. And because I think these guys just up front are so good now at this level. So many prolific scores. I mean, the Holland guy, that is just freaky. And for Brazil to just let him with impunity just fire away on their keeper. But some of the last night, England's keeper made 3 10-bell saves. I mean, it was incredible last night, Cam.
Yeah,
some of the keeping we're seeing.
Goalkeepers is ridiculous. Even the Norway goalkeeper had a crazy save. There was a weird deflection that popped up over his head, and he had to get back and parry it off the post. I mean, the goalkeepers have been ridiculous, and the amount of goals we're seeing has been ridiculous. So I don't know who's been better, the goalkeepers or the forwards, but it's been fun to watch.
Such a wonderful a tournament so far. The sights, the sounds, the scenes, the whole thing, it's just been utterly incredible. You guys grow the beautiful game. I think the U.S. is going to win. I think FIFA's going to cook the books for the U.S. tonight. I think if that thing's close, FIFA's going to do a little FIFA magic for the U.S. tonight.
VAR review or something.
Yeah.
There's going to be something fishy if it's close. Yeah, I agree. And I hate to say it because I can't stand corruption in sports. I think sports are one of the last thing that humans agree on. You just don't mess with sports. But I feel like there's going to be something fishy going on. I think there's already something fishy going on, to be honest with you. But, hey, I want America to win. I just don't know if it's going to happen. But I'd love for them to.
Talk to me here. This Neymar guy obviously is a wonderful player and gets a lot of attention. But on the world stage, for whatever reason, it hasn't worked for him. What is it when you watch that guy? What is it about him? What am I missing? Because he go ahead.
Go ahead. So he used to be one of the most exciting players in the world to watch. He was just skillful and arrogant, and everything he did had flavor. And then in the World Cup that Brazil was hosting, he got injured. He broke his back. And I think ever since then, he just hasn't really been the same. He went to Barcelona and played at Barcelona, and then he went to PSG for crazy money in France. And I think that ever since his injury, he wanted to win in Brazil so bad. And then when he didn't have the chance to win in Brazil, I think everything kind of just fell apart for him.
He acted out
yesterday, to be the guy
man.
that brought dominance to Brazil again. He was supposed to be the one that brought it back, and it just couldn't happen.
I mean, he behaved like a horse's ass yesterday at the end of that game, didn't he?
Yeah. But that's how he's always been. I think he just wanted to go out with a bang because he was always an arrogant guy, a trash talker. I loved watching him play. But, yeah, I can't really understand how you can be losing and want to be talking trash instead of go win the game.
You're the man. Share with the living listener how they can learn more about you guys' program and what you all do with the beautiful game in our area, because FC Alliance sets the pace, no question about it.
Yep, you can catch us on fcallianceknox.org. And we've also got FC Alliance North up in the Tri-Cities and FC Alliance Plateau over in Crossville. We've sent over 550 players to college, and we're just trying to raise people's kids through sport, teach them the right way to be. Obviously try to get them into school or go on and play professional after that. We've had a couple players do that as well, boys and girls. So just trying to raise people's kids, help them raise their kids with sport, teach them the right way to do it, and get them to school.
On the way out, U.S. wins tonight if fill in the blank.
If we can have possession for the first 15 minutes of the game. The first 15 minutes is going to dictate everything. We've started really fast in all of our games. If we can start fast again, I think that we can break through the hype behind Balogun right now. If we let Belgium dominate the first 15 minutes, I don't know how we stop Doku, and I don't know how we get enough good chances to score on Courtois. So the first 15 minutes are going to dominate everything, and I think we'll have a pretty good idea what's going to happen after those 15 minutes.
Cam, you're the man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your observations. Thank you for your honesty.
Yeah, of course. I appreciate you having me, man.
Appreciate you, brother. And here's the thing about it, Bino. Sure, he's tied to people that support and sponsor the show. That's an extra added bonus, right? He's also played all over the world. He's also extremely knowledgeable. He's also opinionated. He's also, Bino, not afraid to call a shot when it's gone against us. I have people mad saying, why would you bring a guy on that says we're going to lose tonight? Has this show, have I ever worried about that on this show, Bino? What somebody's opinion is? Like, do we do that where we want to tell people what they want to hear? Do I do that, Bino? Have we ever done that?
We do not, Tony. He's been an excellent guest.
Thank you. Excellent. The Neymar guy is a punk and a clown. Tonight's match is going to be very interesting. Look, I think FIFA wants the U.S. to advance. I'm going to say it very honestly here. Do I think the thing's fixed? No. But I do think that in the NBA playoffs, when they want an extra game, does an official blow an extra whistle or two, Refalytics Judd, to make that happen? Does Duke, down through the years, get a little more of a generous whistle than other people do? Because they're so prevalent in the sport of basketball, and their people are all over the place, and their tentacles reach further? I mean, you answer that question. One other thing that I want to throw at you here is, and we were talking about DGG before, but I do think the piece we can discuss with Kamara working out with him is highly significant. You know, Kamara is a unused resource here at Tennessee. It will be really ironic if he has a hand in us landing somebody that might be one of the more significant commitments Bino since blank. Fill in the blank. DGG in 15 days, 16 days would be the most significant commitment since blank, Bino. What do you think? What comes to mind? Anybody? I want the living listener
Jamal Lewis.
to, I mean, he'd be huge. Nico, maybe? I mean, you say at the running back position. Yeah, at the running back position, when you get one of those guys, and especially all the things this kid can do, I mean, this guy can do everything asked of him in a Josh Heupel offense. Literally, that guy could win a Heisman Trophy in your offense. That's how much of a running offense it is. That's why I haven't understood to this point why Tennessee haven't been able to go out and get and land a guy like this. I would think that running backs would want to play in that offense. First of all, you're going to get touches. Secondly, you're going to get an opportunity to get into the second level constantly in that offense. Thirdly, it's set up for.
Nico was a good take by you, Tony. That was a highly significant signing it didn't work out the way that we wanted it to. But at the time, at the start of that, basically the start of the NIL craze, for us to get a quarterback that was that highly regarded, that was an absolute coup. Yes, that's a good.
Yeah, and we're going to bring James Clausen on later this week to celebrate the 5th anniversary of NIL and how ahead of the game these guys were. And one of the things I'm going to unpack with James is how they did the Nico thing. Because look, I call that a success. I don't know what you call it. I call the Nico thing a success. And here's why. Credibility. And like my Flyers just signed an Anaheim Mighty, you don't care about this, but a player from Anaheim, 21-year-old frontline 1C, as they call him in the NHL, a first-line center. They don't have one. They're going to give up in the NHL world. This is how it works. You sign somebody on an offer sheet. If the team doesn't match, you give them 4 first-round picks, plus you pay the player. So you better know what you're doing when you do that. What Tennessee did is they said, okay, we're going to jump out first. We're going to set the market on quarterbacks. We're going to overpay for this guy. Didn't work out. Or did it? I say Nico worked out. You made the playoffs. I'd say Nico worked out. What would you say?
I mean, not it in the short term, certainly, yes.
Yeah, it wasn't a home run, but it wasn't a bust like the Ohio State kid was. It was like a double. Feel that way? Maybe it doesn't feel that way, but you made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it gave you sometimes too, like this thing with my Flyers might not work out, but as a fan, Bino, I now know that organization's serious. Do you know what I mean? Like, I now know, hey, they're in there swinging. These, we're trying here. They think we can compete. That does something psychologically to the fan base as well. This DGG thing, when I tell you that he's working out with Kamara, when I tell you he's asked for Tennessee's practice regimen, that's significant to me. That tells me 2 things. One, Tennessee's really trying. Secondly, he's really considering the Vols. Are we in agreement there? I mean, I think those are all good.
Yes.
You might not get him. There was somebody in our YouTube chat saying, hey, there's one report out there that says he's gone to Ohio State. Listen, when it comes to DGG, nothing's going to surprise me what the kid does. That wouldn't surprise me. I think the Vols, quote unquote, lead for him, but I don't know that. But I think that. But the kid could get up and the day he's supposed to commit and go, you know what? I'm flattered by Tennessee's offer. It was, I don't know, 60% more than Ohio State's going to pay me, whatever the number is. But they just have such a history of backs in the NFL that I'm just going to be the latest. I wouldn't blame the kid for that. Bino said in the first hour he wouldn't blame him. Brian wouldn't. I don't think anybody would blame a guy for that. But, the thing about this is Tennessee's pulling out all the stops. But you're going against a behemoth in Ohio State. A team Bino called Yankee Bama. Now, these days, Bama wishes they could be in Ohio State's Class Beanstar. Because when you said that 5 years ago, you were right. Do we agree on that? Bama slipped from the Ohio State perch, I believe.
They've either slipped or they're slipping, Tony. Yes. Yes.
But
I just think if you could sign DGG or just the effort that you put out there to sign DGG against a behemoth like Ohio State, I think it's the latest signal that there's a greater sense of urgency within Heupel's program, a much needed greater sense of urgency within Heupel's program since the end of last season. Along with the staff changes, the change in apparent change in philosophy and the percentage of high school kids compared to the percentage you get out of the portal, and just going all guns to get one of the best players in the country.
I'm 5,000% excited right now and pumped. And let's go to the phones. If you want to get in the hunt and in the mix with us, going to be a lot of twists and turns. That DGG thing. I just wanted to share some information with you. I also want to get into this thing that's happened to Kirk Cressa, who got extradited back to West Virginia over the weekend. I want to unpack that a little bit because here's my thought. I'm going to keep it real with you. One of my big concerns about college basketball right now, first of all, it's always been a concern that it's very fixable. It's very manipulatable by the players, by the officials, and I'm being serious when I say by everybody involved. It's very manipulatable. Now that we've entered gambling everywhere and the prevalence of it, and everybody has a phone and the app is on your phone, and you got good friends that you know, and they can place a bet 2 times removed from you, and can place a bet for you. It is so easy now. And all you need is a knucklehead like Kirk Cressa, who on the court and off the court, total knucklehead. Talented kid, talented player. When we saw him with Arizona, when they came in here, I remember on that post-game show, we were laughing at what a clown he is. Total clown. Unserious on the court. He's got serious talent. Very unserious. That surprised me over the weekend. Let me help you out here. Not even a little bit, okay? Not even a little bit. But let's go to the phones. Rusty's up next with us. Rusty, then W. Lynn. Rusty, welcome in.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate you having me on. Love hearing from Cam. Man, Tony, I'm nervous right now. Like before we were about to play Virginia and Iowa State in the Sweet 16 and around the 32.
It's so cool.
Not like the Michigan game because I wasn't nervous for Michigan because I just didn't think we could beat that team. But it's the same feeling. Nervous like we were about to play Ohio State up in Columbus. Even though I probably shouldn't have been nervous for that ball game. Should have just been relaxed. But it's that kind of day, man.
Isn't that great, man? It's a summer, and we're feeling this way. It's beautiful, man.
Whoever it was nailed it when they said, yeah, wouldn't it be fun if we were talking about who the backup left guard is right now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was a great line by one of your chatters.
My nephew texted. My nephew Joe is listening to us. And by the way, somebody caught my nephew Joe's power line on fire the other night. Speaking of Darwin Award winners, with fireworks, Rusty, in beautiful Havertown, Pennsylvania. He looked outside, and that transformer box up there started to it caught fire. Bino, you think that's funny? You think he's illiterate with these fireworks, Bino? You like it or no?
I don't know if it was fireworks, but our whole road went out for like an hour and a half.
He said that Uncle Tony, do they not realize that soccer's a sport and you're a sports show? And I said, apparently not. Apparently not, no. Rusty.
Hey, JPP can show us 7 reasons why it's not a good idea. Can't show us 10 though.
Interesting.
Hey, if I can, I don't want to be soccer elitist douche. But the clock thing, the reason it goes up is because you don't want it to ever hit zeros. Because when it hits zeros, that feels like a hard out. So the game is designed to where you play at least 90 minutes, and then they might add at least 3, 6, 5 more. So it's plus 5 more minutes of the game. But that means at least, and it is that way. So there is when the watch on the referee who's on the field, they tell him it's +5. He clicks on his little watch, 5 more minutes, and sets a timer. When that 5 runs out, he can stop it at any point then, but he's not going to stop it when one team's attacking the other. If he stopped it while a team was like crossing a ball in the box and then it got headed in the goal and it tied the game, that would be a brutal way to end the game. It would be like, we're playing Georgia, we're down 3, we're at midfield, there's 1 second on the clock, and Josh Dobbs just heaves it to Jawan Jennings, but because he snapped it and then the clock hit 0, the referee just blew the whistle and ended the play. It doesn't matter that we snapped it before the clock. It hit 0, so the play's over. And you don't want to have that in soccer. You want the clock to go up so it stops whenever it's time. And the referee says, the ball went out of bounds. Nobody's threatening the other team to score a goal. Now we can end it. Does that seem okay?
It's a great analogy. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. They're like, well, why do they let the game play out? Because there's still time on the clock when I corner kick the ball.
Yes.
I mean, that's...
Or if I got a 4-on-1 fast break. Imagine you had four guys heading towards the goal with one defender and the goalkeeper in the way, and the referee says, zeros, whistle.
That's it.
Yeah.
Game's over.
Yep. You don't want that.
Game's over.
Yeah.
Great analogy.
Guys, nobody will ever be able to make me understand how you can add just whatever comes to mind, minutes to the end of something. I'll never understand that.
What's added
that
is
just seems like they just pull a number out.
No, what's added is the referee on the field has that same watch, and every time somebody gets hurt or there's a goal scored and there's a bunch of celebrating going on or there's a water break or whatever, every time that is, the referee hits a button on his watch that counts that time, and then at the end of the 45, it relays to the guy on the sideline how much time he stopped his watch, and it was at least 6 minutes, so that's what he adds. Or it was at least 3 minutes that the referee kept stopping his watch.
And
so
then, Bino, the great thing is...
know what that is?
But and then they add, Bino... Hey, Bino, then they add more time to it.
Know what that is before time for him to just say,
okay,
here we
Bino,
we're going to have 11 minutes.
You got to embrace the third worldness of the sport a little bit now. Come on. You got to... There's a little... Like Rusty said, when there's a play going on...
Nobody will ever be able to understand.
This whole thing started out in jolly old English.
Why you can't stop a clock?
The third world
what
of
direction
awesome.
It's going in. No
one
will ever be able to convince me that someone shouldn't stop a clock.
But even if you stopped it, would you be okay with them still adding +4 to the end of every game, just so we don't have a hard out? Would you be okay with that?
No, I'm used to hard outs. That's what sports are always been about. It's amazing.
I mean, but would you be okay with them blowing the whistle on Josh Dobbs because the clock hit 0, but we'd already snapped the ball?
No.
Because
I would be okay if they didn't snap the ball.
That's hitting zeros during live play. Should it end right then?
If the ball's not being kicked toward the net, yes.
Well, okay. So
you got the ball
if
in
the
middle
ball's
of the
being
field
kicked towards the net,
yes, the game should be
and
over.
another guy gets a head on it, or it bounces around the box and somebody taps it in. Goals are too valuable. It's not like basketball where each team scores 45 baskets. One goal is monumental, and you don't want to have a stop on that because a clock hits 0. You want to stop it when the ball goes out of bounds. What?
I'm not going to understand it. You're wasting your breath on me.
I hear you.
That's not a shot that's been
Rusty.
The goal, and the
I don't like a pitch clock.
I gave up on Bino. I gave up on Bino a long time ago. That's a waste. You're just you might as well just take a balloon.
I know.
And blow it up till you turn blue in your face. But Rusty, thank you. Go America. USA, USA, USA. So somebody told me that Kirk Krisa's not the Estonian point guard is not being charged in anything gambling related. I mean, really? Here are the charges: conspiracy to commit wire fraud, sports bribery, aiding and abetting the act of actively encouraging, inciting, or assisting someone to commit a crime or engage in wrongdoing. What do you think that is, Bino? That he was, I don't know. What do we think this guy's being charged with? Obviously, that's what that's related to. Sports bribery, Bino? What is that, Bino? What's sports bribery?
Yeah, I assumed that all of this was gambling related.
Of course it is. Yes, of course it is. And again, I will say to anybody listening that you think that's the only one out there? A couple of these little scandals we've seen so far. As Matt Dixon says, tip of your iceberg. Here's the thing. When you got guys that have played 5 different teams in 5 different places over the course of their 5-year existence in college, you're begging for this. You don't put guardrails on this. You're begging for this to happen. Why wouldn't I get all I can get? Why wouldn't I fix something? Why wouldn't I? I'm just shaving a few points at a university I don't care about. I'm just renting a uniform. And why wouldn't I do that? I got money in my pocket for the first time in my life. I can have more. That's my concern, Bino. Does that make any sense? That I think the fact that we have this free player movement only adds to the possibility that this occurs, because who cares about the uniform I'm wearing? I don't care about it. They tell me not to care about it. That's kind of where I'm coming from.
It's obviously a huge concern, Tony.
Huge. And anybody that wants, well, Chris says that's not what he's being. Okay, I'll read it again. Conspiracy to commit wire fraud, sports bribery. What do you think sports bribery is? What do you think bribery is? What could that possibly be, other than something gambling related? Going to a teammate and saying, if you don't help me do this, then we're going to do this. What is that? I got something on you. What could sports bribery, what could that possibly be? I mean, let's use our heads here. And then the final thing, aiding and abetting, the actively encouraging, inciting, or assisting someone to commit a crime or engage in wrongdoing. Hey, come on with me. We're going to do this. And somebody outed him. It's got to be what it is. Oh, Tony, you're jumping to conclusion. Really? You think I'm jumping to conclusions there, Bino, when you read that? What else could it be? I mean, what else? Seriously, what else could it be? Let's go back to the phones. I'll tell you what. Let's take a brief time out, then we'll go back to the phones. 865-200-5402. The numero uno doce. As we continue, it's your Basilio show. More after this. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. Waterside Contracting, LLC. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. He doesn't always drink beer, but when he does, he definitely prefers Dos Equis. That's right. The most interesting man in the world has returned, and he's more interesting than ever before. His phone is addicted to him. All of his teeth, all are wisdom teeth. So raise a Dos Equis to the man, the myth, the legend. And remember, stay thirsty, my friends. Dos Equis, enjoy responsibly. 2026 Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
Like our 2026 football Vols, score a T3 TD every time with T3 Vodka, Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. Right here, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains. Quality around here isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. And T3's filtered 10 times, 80 proof of vodka, delivering a smoothness unmatched. This dedication to excellence has earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades, like a 5-time gold medal award-winning vodka and your SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner as well. Whether you're sipping it neat, on the rocks, mixing your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka, your choice for a premium award-winning experience. Be like Maury Hanks. Score a T3 TD. Ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right, and score a T3 TD all 2026 long. Tennessee's premium vodka, T3, Tennessee's premium vodka, distributed by Empire Distributors of Tennessee.
Big news, Basilio family. Get ready because the 2026 Knoxville real estate market is officially shifting into high gear. All signs are pointing toward a record-breaking year, and the energy across East Tennessee is absolutely electric right now. Whether you've been dreaming of finding that next home, looking to capitalize on your current equity, or ready to dive into the investment world, the timing has never been better. Having a game plan is the key to winning in this fast-paced market, and I'm ready to help. Give me a call, Jennifer Morris, at 865-694-5904, or reach out at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Baseball fans, it's time to step up to the plate. Look your best. Get some new Tennessee gear from Alumni Hall. Alumni Hall has the best selection. Top brands for you to choose from this season. Look, it's nice and warm outside, so get into any of their 6 air-conditioned East Tennessee locations. Shop online, download the app, grab your Tennessee baseball jersey, your hat, your decal, maybe a t-shirt, and they have so much more. Earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Go Vols and shop Alumni Hall, your ultimate Tennessee shopping destination. Touch them all with Alumni Hall. Basilio here with the great Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, I can hear it in the background, brother. It's World Cup season, and you guys are in the middle of it. Talk to me.
We are excited. Our U9 through U12 trials just kicked off today for our locations in Knoxville and in Johnson City. So we're ready to offer any player top-level competition, top-level training anywhere they want to be in Northeast Tennessee. In our programs, we offer competitive play for anywhere from 9-year-olds to 19-year-olds. We've got 2 locations. Our location in Knoxville is kind of our home base, and our location up in Johnson City in the Tri-Cities area is our FC Alliance North. Both locations are growing tremendously, and we're excited about what the future holds here at both locations.
Growing the beautiful game in the season of the World Cup. Chad Stockton, how can folks get more information?
Go to our website, FC Alliance or FCAllianceNorth.org, and both locations we're happy to serve the beginning player or the more experienced player, because what we will promise is the top-level training and top-level leagues that we can play in for all of our players.
Growing the beautiful game in Knoxville and now also in the Tri-Cities. FC Alliance. Thank you, Chad Stockton.
Thanks, buddy.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
The High Noon line of hard seltzers is always a winner and always next level. High Noon vodka seltzers come in 14 flavors with real vodka and real fruit juice. Only 100 calories with no sugar added, and it's gluten-free.
Personally, I'm partial black cherry and pineapple.
14 flavors.
That's as many bad takes as I've got in a week.
In the mood for a kick? Try High Noon vodka iced tea in 6 refreshing flavors,
including peach and lemon, green tea, and half and half.
Feeling adventurous? Check out High Noon tequila seltzer in 6 refreshing flavors, including my favorite, Blood Orange. High Noon real vodka, real fruit juice. Live like the sun is always out.
Brought to you by High Noon Spirits Company. Must be 21 and over to enjoy responsibly.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Oh, sorry. Getting in the mood because this Saturday is Christmas in July at Covenant Health Park. But your Knoxville Smokies have great promotions all week long. Like all-you-can-eat Wednesday, Knox Vegas Thirsty Thursday with half-off draft beers, fireworks on Friday, then yes, the big man himself on Saturday. We end the week with our day game of the week. It's a week full of fun at the ballpark. Get your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
Smokies! It's always magnificent. Mondays on the Basilio Show, presented by our friends at Fleet Tire. I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. And now, back to B.
TB, back with you. They're telling me there's some erroneous reporting in that original report on Chrissa. It may not be sports gambling related at all now. We'll get into that here in a second. But in the meantime, we don't have time to get our next caller started. I want to hold that to our overtime segment. W. Lynn, hang right there. If you want to get on 865-200-5402, because we will be going to another award-winning, action-packed, you never know what's going to happen, moving right to left across your dial. High noon hotline, because it's high noon somewhere, and the sun's up, and we're going to do a high noon overtime. We're going to kick back. We're going to make it happen on your high noon overtime, and we'll go back to our high noon phone lines here momentarily and do just that. In the meantime, I want to thank Cam Schneider, who jumped in and joined us. We've got all kinds of great stuff planned for you this week. Spread the word. Thunderbird, what's the price? 40 twice, 50 twice. Maybe it's 90 twice now, or $2 twice. What do you think Thunderbird is these days, Bino? What's the word Thunderbird? $3 twice? $7 twice?
I don't know what the inflation on that is, Tony.
In the meantime, I love you. I appreciate you. It's absolutely outstanding. Join Bino tonight for USA Soccer Garza Law Overtime on many of these same platforms. Bino will be on with you tonight, taking your calls on the beautiful game at roughly maybe 11:15 after that thing goes to extra time and the kicks and the whole thing. But the great William Pattison in the playbook, You Bow Thy Head, is on the way next.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
It's high noon.
Right
before we
get sun's up,
and it's time for another high noon overtime.
The place where we kick back, pop a top, and really get to the bottom of it.
Presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer.
Made with real vodka and real fruit juice. Only 100 calories with no sugar added and it's gluten-free.
Live like the sun is always out.
And now it's time for High Noon Overtime.
All right, Bino, I got to back it up now on this Kirk Chrissa thing. I got to write an apology tomorrow in the blog to the young man. Or do I? Because James Daniel IV was looking at he says the original reporting on sports bribery was a mistake in the original report. He said the full indictment's now unsealed. He was running a $2.2 million Ponzi scheme posing as a woman named Irene. He was telling people that his mom had cancer, funneling money back and forth between a bunch of different identities. Nothing sports or athletic related in the indictment. So I will stand corrected. Do I owe Kirk Chrissa an apology, Bino?
No, you do not owe Chris an apology, Tony. He's still accused of some pretty serious crimes. It's just a different category. We probably owe those who questioned the original thought that it was gambling related. We owe them an apology, but probably not Chris. Tony, I got a quick question before that hopefully you can clear up for me out of my soccer ignorance.
Hit it.
And Rusty, in my discussion, he was talking about, would I be okay if they stopped a play, the Josh Dobbs play? No, that play that play was started before the clock ended. Then I asked him what I would be okay if they stopped a kick toward the. I mean, you've made a kick toward the goal. Obviously, whatever happens there is fine. He said, "What if it rattles around in there and somebody heads it in? What is the difference in that and us being ahead of Kentucky by 1 in basketball? Them getting a shot off before the clock expires, then the clock expires. Would anybody be okay with allowing them to ram the rebound back through after the clock had expired? What's the difference in those two things, other than the fact that you almost never score in soccer?"
Well, now he can come on and explain that tomorrow, because I think I think that's a good point. In other words, you're saying the initial play is ended, because in soccer, what they do, Bino, is they allow that run of play and that possession. If it started before the clock ends, they see that whole play through. You're right.
And
Brian,
see, as a non-soccer fan, compare that to the things that I love, that seems odd to me. I'm not saying it's wrong for soccer. I'm just saying my viewpoint based on the sports that I love, that seems odd to me, that you would allow them whatever time it takes down there to score if they consider that a play going.
That's like a drive starting at the 30-yard line and the clock runs out when they reach the 40. Well, they're moving their way towards the goal. Should we just let them have the possession until the possession ends one way or another, despite the fact
that's
it comes
what
after
I
the
see
clock
in my mind.
Is expired?
It's a really terrific point that Beanstar brings up, but Rusty's right. They just let the run of play end. You just got to know that. So when you're watching soccer, and sometimes if there's a corner kick like last night with Mexico, they gave them like another 45 seconds, it looked like to me, because they won a corner kick. So that whole thing, that sequence of plays is connected. So by your comparison, Bino, if Kentucky gets the shot off at the end and they get the rebound, that referee is going to let that run of play end till Tennessee gets that ball.
As long as they have possession.
Sense? Correct.
Basically.
Correct. Then the game's over.
Yeah. I'm glad that's not allowed in basketball. I'll say that.
Well, but if it was, you would know what you're looking at, right? You'd understand.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it's been my whole life, yes.
Yeah. Every soccer fan in the world knows that that's just the way it's going to be till the run of play. I mean, Brian, that's a fair way to explain that, right? That's a fair way of saying it. I'm not misrepresenting that, am I, Bri? Like accusing Kerr Chris of being involved in sports gambling when he was really only involved, in a $2 million Ponzi scheme claiming that his mom had cancer. I mean,
it sounds like he was trying to do something on like one of these really suspicious dating type sites.
He may have called into our overtime show looking for Officer Beef or something. So I believe, Bino, we've gotten to the bottom of it. You just got to think of the run of play.
Yeah, that's good.
The ball's in
I'm
play.
Good with that.
The play begins, and really you're going to play the game until you get possession of the ball. Then they're going to blow the whistle. But if there's a corner, it's still the run of play. Most times they're going to allow that corner to happen, even though extra time has expired. The announcers know this, and that's why they're like, oh, the game's not over. They wait for that referee to blow the whistle. Now, the thing about the sport is that a manipulatable element at the end of games? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do we trust FIFA tonight? Or if this was Cam Krissa, do we trust, or whatever his name is, not Cam, what's the Krissa guys for Kerr? Do we trust Fifi tonight to not add another 45 seconds for the U.S. to get a shot off? I think if that thing's close tonight, Fifi, Kerr Krissa, I think they will, shall we say, manipulate the thing a little bit. Anyway. So the officer beef, I really believe that Chrissa at some point called into the show trying to bilk us. I want to believe that. Let's go to the phones. Bino, great job dragging that out of me. I think I've explained it properly.
Yes.
I think so. Celtic Drew, tell me if I'm wrong. But the thing is, it's added time of ball in play. So like a corner last night, 45 seconds was added, but the ball wasn't in play. They let the play happen. They let it go to its conclusion. Does that make sense, Bino?
It does, Tony.
And then England gets possession, and they blow the whistle. All right, let's go.
If that's an understood part of the sport, I just think I just like you. I think it's awfully easy to manipulate something when you're adding time. You just let a clock run, and then you got. Yeah. Anyway, it's just my lack of understanding of the sport.
Bino, I was trying to explain to my brother the officer beef thing the other day. That guy, he didn't call line 6. He called one of our cell phones, right? And I got the number and called him back.
He had been calling my cell phone, and I had my cell phone. And I had told you that he had already called me, and he called back, and I handed you my cell phone, and you talked to him.
And that's how we got him on the air, right?
That's how we got him on the air, yes.
And then I told him that my name was Jimmy Sexton, and I owed
either that, Tony, or we called a number that he had left for me to call.
I think that's what happened. I'd love to dig that up if we could figure out where it's at. Check the transcripts. But I told him my name was Jimmy Sexton. I'm a sports agent, and I owe a lot of money. I have a lot of unpaid taxes. And he goes, "Oh, Jimmy Sexton." He was so excited. He's like, "Man, I got one on the hook here in my boiler room." But let's go back to our phones, and we'll get our next call in. Somebody said it's like Basilio when he says, "Let's go back to the phones." Just think of the end of these games that way. They're always taking shots at me, Bino. Even on a high noon overtime. It's a July 6th, and I'm doing an overtime here. I'm doing a high noon overtime because it's high noon somewhere. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air.
How are my French compatriots doing today?
W. Lynn, welcome in.
First off, shout out to your nephew, Joe, who's an official Southerner and a member of the Bleak House Club.
He was talking about you over the weekend, W. Lynn. He was talking about he said, and I quote, "I've never met a person more," how did he put it? "More unique than W. Lynn." He said that. He called you unique over the weekend.
I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I got to compromise on this clock issue.
All right.
I'm with Bino on that. They could have a scoreboard up there where everybody in the stadium can see it, and us on TV could see it, going 0 to 45. And when they stop for injuries or whatever they stop the clock for, they stop it, and we can see, okay, the clock stopped. Then when it gets to 45 or 90 at the end, 90, if there's a corner kick, the guy goes over and gives the guy the ball, but the minute it hits 90, a 20-second game clock starts. He runs over, and you better kick that ball and hope somebody can knock it in 20 seconds, and then that's it. So if they're on their side of the midfield going toward the goal, they're going to know when that clock hits 90, there's going to be a 20-second clock starts, and you better get it in the goal by then.
W. Lynn?
But for the whole 90 minutes, we have a normal clock that everybody can see. and
You're wanting
stop
to ruin
and
the sport.
You know,
You're wanting to ruin the
What's
sport,
that?
man.
no, I'm not. I'm like Dino. I don't know what they're going to put up.
It just
That's why
seems
it's great.
the length is so arbitrary that they could put anything they want up there.
Bino, it's
Yeah.
third world. Why
I
don't you
know
guys
that,
just accept the third worldness of it? It's awesome. It's third world. I mean, how many things do we get to
It's
experience that are
wrestling.
third world? Yes, it's
It's
third
wrestling.
world. Exactly. It's wrestling. That's exactly right. It's the run of play. And does he get another corner? And are they going to let the clock run? And then blah, 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 blah. And is he going to blow the whistle? And then half the stadium last night, the England people and all those people, that game started at 2 a.m. in England. Do you guys think there were people up watching that in England?
Absolutely.
Oh, I was up. I watched them show live at 4 a.m. in England. People going.
Oh, really? There were people out there?
I watched the post game. Yeah, they showed London,
God!
and Manchester, and there was people going nuts. And they said it's 4:04 now. You know.
I love the passion of this nonsense. You imagine being at a
And
sporting event that started at 2 a.m. where the Vols played, and we were out publicly somewhere at a watch party till 4 a.m. Because I'm telling you right now, if Tennessee football played in a World Cup of college football and they were representing us out there on that stage, you damn straight, W. Lynn, we'd be up at 4 a.m. watching that.
Oh, yeah. We
Am I
would.
lying, W. Lynn?
You're right. And during that the England soccer Mexico game, I love the British, Australian, New Zealand accent anyhow.
Oh.
The way those guys kept saying it's crazy in the Azteca. It's crazy in the Azteca. The way they were talking about that stadium on the air.
Yeah. That's what I'm
And
talking
then I
about,
thought-
the Jimmy. Yes.
Then I kind of have a bad image of soccer outside the U.S. because I know a few years ago, and I know it was a minor soccer game somewhere in South America, I think, but I'm not sure. The losers of the game stormed the field, cut the referee's head off, and put his head on a spike and planted it at midfield. Do you remember that story?
Is that a Civil War story, or what are we doing here?
No, that happened in some minor soccer game. So I started worrying about the English fans getting out of Mexico, out of the country. And I always think of the Don DeVoe plan. Get in the dressing room, go straight to the bus, no shower, go straight to the plane and get out. Because I was worried those fans might go nuts, But I think
Their
everything
record,
ended
yeah.
civil.
Well, one of our posters put that record that they had. You're not beating them in that building. I mean, they're not used to losing in that building. I think in like 90 matches, that's only their third loss in that building. Here it is. Here you go. Azteca Stadium opened 1966. They've had 70 wins, 17 draws, and only 3 losses in 90 matches.
Wow.
They don't lose in that building. They don't lose in that building.
Don't.
So.
And I'm so fired up about tonight. I mean, I wish there was like a college game day for soccer on right now. I know they start a pregame and all that, but I'm like, I can't wait. I'm just unbelievable that. But Belgium is certainly the favorite. If I got that part right,
big time favorite. Yep,
that's what I thought. I didn't know where they ranked in Europe and all that, but I knew they were the favorite. But man, I can't wait. I told my daughter this is the biggest soccer game on TV ever for USA. I think.
Oh, there's no question about that.
And I watched the '94 game against Brazil, where we lost 1-0. Brazil was out playing us the whole game. I think it ended up 1-0 though. But this is unbelievable. And I'm just so excited. I wish it'd been on the 4th of July in a way, like at 8:00 at night, but I'm
can
all
explain
in,
all
Tony, on
this.
this World
Yeah.
Cup.
Hey, Bino, the Vols tonight. The U.S. is roughly plus 175 on the money line tonight to win in regulation, Bino. Plus 175 connotes what, Beanstar, to you? Explain it to the living listener, Bino.
Plus 175.
Yep. We're 2-1 underdogs. Is that right?
Yeah, very, very close to 2-1 underdogs. Yes. Plus
So if you
200.
bet $100, if you bet $100 on Belgium and they won, how much would you win?
Belgium is a.
You'd have to bet 175 to win 100.
There you go.
Okay.
And then the
That's always
over/under for
confused me.
goals. The goal total tonight is 2.5 in that match. 2.5.
Wow.
And then,
well, I hope we're fired up and play the best game we've ever played. But Tony,
never
now
know.
my bracket might be wrong. I'm looking at on my phone. It says if we win, we play Friday at 3 p.m.
I think that's right, and I cannot believe that they would put the U.S. out there Friday at 3. But you're right.
I know it.
Yeah, somebody else told me earlier. They sort of corrected me on that. Yeah, you're right, man. That's exactly what the deal is.
It should be a Saturday night game. There's no doubt about it. I don't know how they
Friday
plan
at
that.
3. What a damn stupid third world sporting event. What in the world?
Yeah, there you go, Bino. It's that third world again kicking in.
Yep.
Friday at 3.
Bino?
Everybody take off at noon on Fridays, but we got to win tonight first. We got to win tonight.
Hey, all right. Beth Mowens will be doing that game.
God! Hey, Bino, on the way out, and I appreciate you, W. Lynn. Thank you. Fleet Pete said USA is minus 175 in this game, not plus. That's not what I just saw, but I just glanced at whatever I glanced at. Some book. Back to our phone said this sport's so ignorant it's even confusing to bet on. USA minus 140 to advance. USA plus 145. Belgium plus 185. Hey, Jew is saying. So we're all over the place here, Bino. The beheading game was in Brazil in 2013, Beach Bum says. There was a beheading game. Vandy Dandy said 54% of Americans are betting on America, dumb money. Spoken like a true goof that you are. True goof. Okay, Tony is reading lines from the 90-minute line, which includes the draw. Bino, do you like how I just put in there what I put in there, and I can't even come up with the right line? Should I just quit doing what I'm doing, Bino? Or is the comedy effect just, it is what it is at this point? Just own it.
You just keep being you, Tony. I was trying to get on MGM here to see what they say the spread is.
Do that.
I can't get there.
Do that. Do it, Bino, because we just had a $19 super chat, $19.98 to be exact, from Volpet. I would love to hear Bino explain the offsides, which I just gave him one like. Thank you, Volpet. Bino, why don't you go ahead? Why don't you? It's going to be like me reading that line and trying to figure out why both teams, I didn't want to say it, but both teams were plus in, and that makes sense now that it was a 90-minute line, James. I don't know my asshole from first base with this stuff. So
what I'm looking at, USA plus 142, Belgium plus 186, goal line USA minus a half.
Now I'm even more confused. I think I'm just going to stick to hockey. All right, Bino, without further ado, offsides in soccer. Bino, hit it.
Offsides in soccer.
And by the way, before you go, the beheading, the ref stabbed the player before he was beheaded. Beach Bum just wanted to add that to the story.
The ref stabbed the player?
Yes. And then the ref got beheaded on the field after that occurred. And
was that in stoppage time, or would he have lived if they would have stopped it when they were supposed to? Or
it was stoppage time for him. Because of stoppage time somewhere. It's high noon somewhere. It's not. Officer, somebody wants to know if Officer Beef and Julie Herman's roast beef could be considered kin, since they were both born in the overtime segment. Have you given that a thought, Bino? Officer Beef and Julie Herman's roast beef.
Officer Beef and Julie Herman's roast beef.
Yes.
Yes, I think that's okay. They could be considered kin, distant relatives.
Okay. The other thing, Music City Sam says he doesn't know why college football fans omit this, and I think this is worth talking about. What's the difference between flopping and soccer? Because they're trying to gain a timeout on the field. That's all they're trying to do there. They're trying to slow it down. Now, there is such a thing as what's called in some parlance as the Latin death roll, which is a term they use in like winter ball for the guys that when they get hurt or a ball comes inside and they get hit like whatever by a 80-mile-an-hour off-speed pitch, they roll around on the ground like they're dying. Because with the Latin death roll, they're allegedly trying to curry favor with the mujeres in the stands. And Bino knows what a mujere is. A mujad. All right, Bino, go ahead. Soccer roll, the overtime roll. Man, I need to start watching more soccer. Hey, Jude says the ref killed the guy because he wouldn't leave the field. And then he was stoned by friends and the family, and then they quartered him on the field.
That seems harsh to me.
It was stoppage time. All right. Bino, Jeff Henderson, ladies and gentlemen.
There's no snowbirding. No snowbirding in soccer, Tony.
Okay.
That's the offsides rule. No snowbirding. You have to allow the defense to get set up. Does that help?
No snowbirding. You have to allow the defense. It works for me. I think they ought to liberalize the offside rule a little bit. This thing with looking at heads and body parts, and they would have a little more offense in their game if they did that. Now that we have VAR. By the way, their VAR system's great, and they get it quickly. They don't play around. But nobody talks about the lay-down lineman in college football, and that's flopping. And that's manipulating the clock by flopping and elongating the game, too. And the lay-down defensive players that goes on in college football. Doesn't go on in others. It does not go. Does that go on in high school, Bino? They lay down on high school ball? The high school games you go to?
I don't know. I don't see a lot of laying down in high school games. I'm sure it occurs, but
yeah,
it's not nearly as prevalent as it is. No, I mean, what once you could rib soccer fans about, I don't think anyone that follows college football or the NBA has the same leg to stand on that they once did.
Amen with the NBA, because the foul grifting and the laying that goes on in that sport is embarrassing. And in the NFL, they don't tolerate it. Guys don't do that. That's not a thing that happens. And in hockey, they don't do it. Now, hockey, they dive trying to draw a 2-minute penalty. but they get right up. In soccer, part of the deal is you have to act dead. You have to act dead. You lay there and you do what they call the Latin death roll. By the way, this Kirk Krissa guy, and then we'll go back to the phones. He's a beauty queen
I've
now.
seen something that's humorous out there to me, Tony.
Yeah.
What's
that?
Out on X, when they put that foosball table out there and everybody's on laying down. I find that comical.
The comedy and the way that the soccer, what would you call it? The soccer ecosystem, they kind of lean into all this stuff. There was a great meme going around yesterday with Balogun, the ref showing him the red card, and he's showing the ref cash money. My cash money is greater than your red card, my friend. The FBI, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has just released the following, and then we'll go to the phones. I have seen public comments regarding the decision of the independent FIFA disciplinary committee related to the suspension of Folarin Balogun, and I'd like to reiterate a fundamental principle of FIFA's governance. FIFA's bodies are independent. They operate autonomously, apply FIFA disciplinary code, decide cases based on applicable regulations, specific facts before them. Their independence is essential to the credibility and integrity of football and must always be respected. Yes, I regularly discuss matters related to FIFA World Cup, President of the United States. I received a call from Donald Trump. During our conversation, I explained that there was an ongoing legal process involving FIFA's independence. I read the decisions of the FIFA disciplinary committee when they're issued. Sometimes I'm surprised by them. Sometimes I agree with them. Sometimes I disagree with them. What I always do, however, is respect those decisions and the autonomy of the bodies that make them. And he's also talking about here, he's also talking about the whole concept of, and the fact that this has been appealed to UEFA. This is telling them you have no say here. UEFA's not going to save Belgium. These FIFA people, buddy, they rule this thing with a damn iron fist. Do I think the president had anything to do with it? No. Do I think Benjamin's did? Yes. Not that president, but past presidents, because it's all about how much currency FIFA can stuff in their pockets when it comes to negotiations. And it's against that backdrop that we get Lee in the mix and in the hunt with us. Lee, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what do you say, boys?
What's up,
Hey,
Lee?
Lee.
Welcome to High Noon Overtime, brother.
I would try to explain like the soccer betting lines, but that would be about the most ridiculous, boring radio I think you could imagine.
Or why is it so hard to understand? Why are they so convoluted?
I mean, I don't think it's really that convoluted once you know it is. I mean, you just have to look at it and think of it in terms of probability. After 90 minutes, there's 3 possible outcomes: Belgium, U.S., or a draw. And they all add up to 100%. That's why you're getting plus money on all of them, because they think it's going to be pretty close.
Oh, bang. Okay, well, that was easy. That was easy. Now explain to Bino the run of play at the end of games.
I'm not getting involved in that conversation. Y'all enjoy the best analogy you had was the Tony going back to the phone analogy. That's actually the one that made the most sense. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like I think all sports are, I enjoy the intricacies in all of them, and so there are certain things I don't like about it. Like in this World Cup, they're not putting on the right amount of time at the end of first half with extra time. These refs are in a hurry to get to the locker room for whatever reason. And I don't like the fact that when there's a free kick allowed, like that we stop the game for like 4 minutes so they can set up a wall and get everything perfect. And that time is usually never added back on. Like that kind of stuff bothers me. I don't really like it, but at the end of the day, I don't really care. It's not, I don't lose sleep over any of it. It is what it is. It's just a sport, I guess. Not all sports have to have a clock that runs the same, in my opinion. But you know, as far as tonight goes, doesn't our coach like have the chance to do the most gangster thing possible and just like sit Balogun on the bench and go out there and win anyway? Say, okay, now what's up?
You imagine the testicular fortitude Lee, it would take to do something like that. Now, Cam thinks that when Balogun plays, it's going to infuriate the Belgians who are going to go out there in the first 20 minutes and play like their hair is on fire. He's probably right. That's probably a great point because they're going to turn this into whatever they're going to. Now, it could also backfire because they could get undisciplined if that occurs. But I do think there's going to be a storm the U.S. is going to have to weather in that game early on.
Sure, I think that's definitely possible. My only retort to that would be, okay, well, why hasn't Belgium played with their hair on fire for, I don't know, the last, 10 years when they've had their golden generation and all these great players? They've always been less than the sum of their parts. I don't think that team's very good. If you look at, it's a lot of big names like Lukaku and De Bruyne and Doku, Trossard. All those dudes are, good players, but they don't ever play like that as a team. Plus, they're getting old and they're slow. I think the U.S. can win this game.
They were slow.
I think they can win it without Balogun. I don't think they can win it without Balogun. Senegal rinsed them for 80 minutes.
Had them.
Blew the game at the end.
Senegal's keeper committed an unpardonable sin when he went for that ball off that bad line he took. And their back was so leaky at the end of that game. That was a brutal loss from Senegal. They had them. You might be right, man. You might be right. They might be old and slow and get exposed tonight.
I think it's really close. I think both teams are going to score in this game. I think U.S. is going to score at least 2 goals in this. I don't think Belgium's defense is any good. Now maybe our defense isn't all that great either, and they certainly have quality players that can make some things happen. But at the end of the day, this Belgium team's never really done much. They've always underachieved with much better players than we've ever had. And I'm not sure, we don't have an advantage in a lot of areas, with our youth and athleticism and speed. So like I said, I don't feel near as confident as I did about England getting through last night, but I think the U.S. can win this game. And I think they could do it without Balogun. I just think it would be funny if he just, if he at least started him on the bench, maybe he brings him in later, which I don't think he's going to do, but possible.
Well, you called that England game right on the money. I'll say this: the last 27 minutes of that thing was really compelling. When England basically sat back there, made those subs, they pulled Bellingham off the pitch, and the guy's got 2 goals playing the game of his life, and he really had a hat trick because he kept another one from scoring. It was one incredible defensive play, Lee. You imagine how sick Mexicans are when they watch that replay today? That's a goal 99% of the time that he saved.
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand. I know it was tough for England going into that place where they rarely lose, but the truth is, that record that Mexico has in that stadium, it's mostly with CONCACAF teams. How many of those wins were against teams with the quality of a team like England that brought it in a world-class roster? They're not used to seeing Jude Bellingham on their pitch, making plays like that. So, I don't know. It was an awesome game. I mean, it turned into kind of a circus. But I mean,
yes.
The atmosphere, that's one of a kind. I mean, that almost surpasses any football game I've ever seen, what I saw last night. I mean, you couldn't turn your eyes away from that. I mean, talk about a spectacle.
No, I had a splitting headache. You're exactly right. I had a splitting headache because the air here has been awful for 3 days. Thank God it's better today. Because when your nose is my size, trust me, you get a good snoot full, or whatever the term is. But I'll tell you this, that game last night, I could not turn that thing off. I was mesmerized by the atmosphere in there. I thought it was a great celebration of sports itself, and it was a terrific sporting event. And you are to be commended for calling it.
Yeah, I mean, I felt good about that one, and I've got some Norway stuff too that I'm hoping. I would love for Norway to take England out. Man. Like that would be the best. That game was fun too. I mean, the Holland thing, like that he's like Godzilla out there. I don't know what you're supposed to do. Like I don't really understand Brazil. Like why is Brazil allowing like 70% possession to a team that has like Godzilla or King Kong that's gonna score eventually? But yeah, I would love for Norway to get through that thing. That's a really fun team. But yeah, like I said, I called last week and I thought the group rounds, the group games were pretty uninspiring. I didn't think it was great soccer, but it's gotten much better. Like in these knockout rounds, no question.
Oh,
so, really fun. Yeah.
Lee, thank you. That Argentina match over the weekend will never be forgotten by this living fan. With that little African nation, Bino, have you seen when Norway, their fans all row the boat?
I have not, Tony. I haven't seen that.
Damn, son. We got to get you out more, son. We got to get you out more. So people are getting on Lee. Brian, was Lee's phone hard to hear? I heard every word he said. People were saying he was on a tin can. He was on this. I don't understand it.
It was arable, but wasn't the greatest in the world.
All right. Vol Guy Joey says the following. New drinking game. Every time Tony says back to the phones, doesn't go back to the phones, take a shot. Bino, I don't want anybody to clinically pass away while listening to the program, do I? I don't think we need to make that a drinking game, Bino.
No, I don't need. I don't think the Daily Show should turn into the post-game show, Tony.
What you need to understand about me, and I'm laying my cards on the table here, okay? Because I don't care. Why pretend? I'm somebody that's medicated that needs to be really medicated. My brain is all over the place. Bino, am I lying?
No, it is scattered, Tony. It's doing a whole lot of things at once.
I got 100 million things going through my head. Most of them are positive. Some aren't. Most of them are positive. But yeah. Norway fans, Hayden Peters says, were rowing the boat at the PGA event when Victor Hovland won. I love that Hovland kid. I love those Norway people. And PJ Fleck is sitting
Tony,
there.
I'm sorry. I did see them do that at the US Open. I did see them. The ones that were there, I saw them do that at the US Open.
Bino, the way they do it in this football stadium, everybody sits down from the team and they row and the fans row with them. And it is an incredible visual.
That's neat.
PJ Fleck dreams that he could get Minnesota. Of course, you got to win to do it. PJ Fleck makes the ball this beautiful movement. It really takes a step back with PJ Fleck because that guy is super G to the A to the woo. I can't say it. But let's go back to the phones. Blake is in Chattanooga, and then it's quitting time. Blake, welcome in.
Tony.
Blake, I hope you're well today.
Doing pretty good. Did you have a good fourth?
Brother, it was incredible. It was lights out. It was absolutely outstanding.
Good. I'm excited for this game tonight.
Yeah. Talk to me. What do you think?
I've got a good feeling about it. I had an okay feeling about it going in without Balogun. I was kind of worried, but I think getting Balogun back, I think that's going to light a fire in our asses tonight. We're going to be ecstatic. We're going to go out ready to play. As long as we can, keep an eye on the prize there and stay locked in and don't think the game's already won just because FIFA gave us our guy back. I think we're going to have a good chance. We just got to shut down Doku, keep him contained, and Lukaku just really stands there. He just stands there. If we can manage him standing there waiting for the ball, I think we'll be fine.
Like a lot of those world-class guys, he's not exactly a high work rate guy. The thing about those guys, though, is if you let them be effective and you let them get the ball in threatening positions, they're going to be effective. That's what everybody says about those. Those guys are paid to do what they do, and they do it pretty damn well if you let them.
Yeah.
I think Belgium comes out tonight with their hair on fire. I agree with Cam. U.S. has to weather it, and then the game needs to be close enough for FIFA to work some magic late.
Yeah, I do agree that FIFA probably wants us to win. They hope we win. If it's close, we might see a VAR, like you said. I don't put it past them. FIFA's corrupt enough to do that.
They're the worst.
Would it kind of suck to see us win like that? Yeah. But am I going to be criticizing them for it? No. Because for once, something will work in our favor. But I am excited. This is the most excited I've been for USA soccer in probably my entire life. But I'm
well,
excited.
Blake, to your point, are you going to go down to Baylor and make something happen with DGG? You and our other Chattanooga listeners, are you going to go down there and turn a tide for us, so to speak?
I do have a source or two around there. I've played for some of their coaches at my old high school and coached with them at the school that I was coaching at. Most of the guys I know aren't there anymore, but I do know a guy that has talked to a pretty close friend of DGG before the.
What are you hearing?
Before the visit, I was told by my source it was an Ohio State lock. After the visit, I was told it's getting interesting. So we'll see what happens. I'm not keeping my hopes up with it, but I do think it's very possible after the visit.
No question about it. Tennessee has gone above and beyond. They're setting the market for running backs. They are absolutely going all in on him. And if they don't get him, they don't get him. But they have absolutely gone all in. And the Alvin Kamara angle only adds to what the Vols have tried to do here. Josh Heupel and his organization have laid all the cards out for this one. So they're all in.
It's good to at least see us making the effort. He's pulling his best Rick Barnes impression with this thing, and I appreciate that at least.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
We damn sure tried.
You cover every base, and then when it's over, if he chooses Ohio, listen, if the kid chooses to go to a school that's had that legacy of running backs in recent years, that's like back in the day when Tennessee was considered wide receiver university, and you were at a school that lost out or finished second. You just said, "Hey, the kid went to wide receiver U. What were we going to do about it?" And that's kind of what you're dealing with Ohio State right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't blame him for going there. Because he's a guy, if you add him to an Ohio State roster, that's the betting favorite for a national championship. What kid doesn't want that, And they put so many backs in the league, and that's his ultimate goal. He's a kid from Canada, wants to make it in the NFL. I wouldn't blame him whichever way he wants to do it.
I totally agree with that. Because like a Zuko Elliott or one of those dudes, those guys are in touch with him. They are. You can be the next me, man. You can be the next me. You can be starring for the Cowboys one day.
Yeah.
But all right, you're my man. That. Thank you, brother. Yeah.
Have a good day.
Talking to you, Blake. Thank you. In the beautiful scenic city. I'm just picturing Bino being in Philly, which I'm outside the city, about 20 miles. But that Mayor Bino lighting those fireworks off at 2:30 in the morning. How mad do you think those people were? Not 12:30 in the morning, not 1:30 in the morning, Let's give them a 45-minute fireworks display at 2:30. She's never heard of a rain date. She's never heard of let's do them tomorrow night. Just had to do it, Bino. Is that one of the more ignorant things you've ever heard of? Seriously.
Yeah, that's different, Tony. That is different.
As one of the people I was reading on one of the boards said, you got to love this place. They said this place, it's kind of like that So Tennessee conversation we had last week. That's so Philly. Just to say, hey, it's 2:30 in the morning, but we're just going to go ahead and shoot these fireworks off. You imagine how startled you'd be? Waking up.
Yeah, I'd say when that first one went off about 2:35, that would set me straight up.
And they said it went on for 45 freaking minutes, man. So great. So great. Bino, any final thoughts tonight and today as we're 6 hours away from pay dirt?
Yeah, Tony, I don't know if excited's the right word for me. I will watch the match, and I'll get sucked into it. I have the matches that I've watched so far, and at the very least, it'll keep me from watching the last few innings of the latest Yankee debacle in this putrid streak they're going through.
Beanstar, love you. Brian Hartman, love you. TGMD in the
Tony.
house. Thank you, babe. TGMD in the house tomorrow. I need to go get something to eat, man. I'm having a blood sugar drop. Appreciate your piece. GBO, take the vote. Thank you, Bino. Thank you, Brino.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Tony B breaking it down scientifically with you. Boy, we have a lot to talk about today. So it's barbecue edition. Welcome to my cookout. Welcome to my cookout. So when you call in today, I want you to tell us what you're eating, how you're eating, what you're putting on your burger. Jim Rob, shout out to you. Happy 4th to you. Back to our phones. Happy 4th to you. All the folks that are going to gather. And so there we go. I'm fired up, folks, prepared today. Hughie's going to jump in. We're going to talk about some of the changes the NCAA is talking about. And then also with him, we're going to get into, well, some of the kickball last night. Matt, did you watch kickball last night? Yes or no?
Yes, I did. I did watch it.
What did you?
It was nice.
What did you? Boring, entertaining. What'd you think of it?
Entertaining. Probably more for the wrong reasons. With a goal getting disallowed, a red card, and just really odd sequence there. But the U.S. won, and that's really all that matters. So. Are all these offside calls, is this normal for soccer to have all this, or are they doing something different? So that's a normal thing? Because it feels like I've seen more goals called off than I've seen actual goals in this thing.
Here's what they're doing now, man.
Not good for the sport, I don't think.
Well, you're going to love this because you hate replay like I do. What they're doing is they used to put the flag up and call offsides. Now they let the play all the way out, and if the goal's scored but they think it's offsides, they put offsides. Why? Because then they go to replay, and you get your false hopes up. You think they scored a goal when it was an offside the whole time, but they do it because they're now officiating to replay. I don't know what the equivalent to that would be in basketball. If you guys could think of one, or in football, but we let the play out, and then we're going to go look at replay and see whether or not it was offside. So everybody in the stadium celebrating. then all of a sudden the flag goes up. So now you got a thing in soccer where when they score a goal, you want to celebrate, but immediately you look over there at the linesman with the flag and you say, okay, what's he going to call? And so it's ridiculous, but it's a really good catch by you, because that's what's going on in this World Cup. That's the change they've made with the VAR. Everybody now is officiating to replay. And Matt, it's stupid. Yes or no? It's stupid, right? But that's the only way they can do it, because otherwise they use that. And if you'll notice last night, a couple of those offside calls were literally by